All right, listen. Your mom and I have been meaning to talk to you about something. You have way too many Pokemon, and it's causing a rift in the family. We're really going to need you to get rid of some of those Pokemon that are just taking up space. Or your mom and I might start seeing other people. Just kidding, I'm single and it hurts. Jameson Rubik's Guy here. Welcome to Pokemon Go content. Kanto Tour is on the 20th. Currently, it's the 18th. This video is last minute, but I'm here to help you clean out your Pokemon storage so you can take care of catching all those new shiny Pokemon. Do you have a Pokemon storage issue? I know I'm always bordering on the cap of Pokemon storage. Currently, I have 4,000 spaces. I've upgraded all the way. So if you want to just pay the money to Niantic and get extra storage space, you can. But if you're like me and you have the most storage you can hold and you're still full, well, hold on a sec. If you're like me and your Pokemon storage is full, so whenever you tap something, it tells you that with a little derisive comment, your collection is full, you better do something about that. I'm here to help you. I've got a list here with a bunch of notes to myself on what we will search. A few features have come out in Pokemon Go recently that will help us. The main one being tags, possibly the only one. So if you'd like to learn how to properly tag your Pokemon, I have an entire video dedicated to that up here, the only up there. As you can see, I have 4,000 Pokemon. Here's a few tricks that you can start with to make sure you don't delete anything of importance. The very first thing I want you to do is search 4-star. This will show you all of your 100% Pokemon. What that means is they have 15 attack, defense, and HP stats. This Pokemon can literally not get any better stat-wise. So I would recommend naming them or favoriting them if you have any hundos that you want to save. For example, I caught 6 Hundo Machop during the Machop Community Day video where I went on a Shundo hunt. So if you want to see that, link also up there. But I have a lot of Machop already, maxed out. I have a full team of 96s and 98s, so let's go ahead and look. Machop, show evolutionary line, and for the ampersand, 4-star to show all my hundos. So I have 9 hundos, comma, 3-star to also include the 3 stars. Sort by CP. I have a bunch of them above 3,000 CP, so I frankly don't need any of those Hundo Machop. I'm gonna keep a few, but we're jumping right into painful transitions, guys. Let's go ahead and unfavorite some of these low CP Machops, because if I'm going to use a Hundo, I want to power it up from a higher level. Goodbye, 300% Machops. I've also deleted 100% Digletts, because I think it would be cool to have 100% of every Pokemon in my storage, eventually getting to a point of having a Shundo of everything when I'm 85. So I'm going to sort by number right now and see what duplicate Pokemon I have that are Hundos. I have 2 Jigglypuff, one for Jiggly, one for Wiggly. See, I already had a Diglett and a Dugtrio. That Pokemon doesn't evolve anymore right now. It has no use in PvP or battles or raids, so I deleted the extra ones. I'm looking through here, definitely have a lot of Hundo Machop, like I mentioned. One of each Ponyta for Rapidash. So just go through your Hundo collection and see. I have 400 Gyarados. Will I ever use them? Probably not, but they're really rare. I'm going to keep them. C, do you have any duplicates of something that just has no use? You already have the trophy of having it as a Hundo, but you're not going to use it for anything? Like Sceptile. Yes, we're getting a Mega Sceptile at some point, but I'm going to want a shiny. And if I'm going to Mega Evolve one of my Hundos, it's going to be the 1733. So make sure these all have Frenzy Plant, which is the Community Day move, so I'm not deleting one that has it and then keeping one that doesn't. We're going to delete this Hundo Sceptile. And we're going to delete one more Hundo Sceptile. I now have 2 Hundos and some pretty good shinies. Going down the list like this, just repeat this process and see Rhyperior, they're a great rock attacker and ground attacker, so I do want to keep the Hundos. Mamoswine is the best, or close to the best, ice attacker, so we'll also keep that. That's the list of my Hundos. Next up, I would recommend, after you've renamed your Hundos so you don't accidentally delete them, I'm going to zoom out here, I would recommend now to search for any Pokemon with legacy moves. There is a way to do this. If you search @special, it will show you any Pokemon that has a move that cannot currently be learned without using an elite TM. This also includes Shadow and Purify Pokemon, which we don't really care about for this search, so we're going to add and exclamation point, which means not Shadow and not Purified. Everything here has a legacy move, and we will also change it one more time to and not traded. This is Pokemon that I've been the original owner. I could trade these away to people, and they have legacy moves, like that Rayquaza with Hurricane, the Machamps with Payback, the Magmortars and Electivires from their Community Day, Rhyperior, Shiftry. A lot of these are shinies because I do massive all shinies on Community Days. Because if somebody's going to want the shiny from Com Day, they're going to want it with the exclusive move. They're not going to want a shiny Electabuzz when they can have a shiny Electivire with Flamethrower. And you can see, I'm going to go ahead now and sort by number just to put all the Pokemon together. We have a lot of Charizard. We have a lot of Venusaur and Blastoise, Beedrill, Pikachu by the buckets full. There's a lot of Hundo Ghastly into Gengars. There's frankly a lot in here that I could delete. Now, Shadowbone Marowak is a really good Pokemon in PvP, so I'm going to keep those and trade away to somebody else who might want to reroll for lower stats for PvP. Gyarados, Aquatail is also good. Lapras is amazing for PvP. It's currently on my Ultra League team. I'm going to try to reroll those. Snorlax has Yawn as a legacy move in this case. I have the Zero, I have the Hundo, and I have a couple to trade. Honestly, I only need one to trade. I have never been asked, hey, do you have a Yawn Snorlax for a lucky trade? So we're going to go in here. I'm going to keep the 41 just because. Why not? It's low. Legendaries often have legacy moves, like Mewtwo with Shadow Ball and Psy Strike. So go through your list, pair out any Pokemon that you know nobody will want, or that you have so many of, like in the case of me and Feraligatr, that you physically cannot trade them that much, because you're limited to one special trade a day. If the Pokemon isn't shiny, you can mass trade them, but like Feraligatr, I have 20-some Feraligatr. I don't need this many. I'm going to go through and delete some of these. Feraligatr's exclusive move is Hydro Cannon. It's generally used not in raids, but in PvP. So I'm going to want something to be safe that can fall under the 1500 limit. That way it can go into Ultra or Great League. I'm going to try to delete the Feraligatr that aren't fully high level in case somebody actually wants to use it that way, but are sort of in that unsweet spot of can't drop down low enough with a lucky trade, but is also like lower than the max CP. But I have clearly an excess of the ones that could go in Great League. So let's just start deleting these. Make sure their stats aren't good for Great League. It does hurt, but at some point, I'm going to get more Totodile. We're going to be able to evolve again into Feraligatr with Hydro Cannon. Right now, it's all about paring down space. At one point, I thought it'd be really cool to never delete a shiny, but we're already down that train. The storage space just doesn't work for it. So I'm going to keep doing this off camera. Delete the Community Day Pokemon that I don't really need. But I did make a list of all the Community Day Pokemon, and we're going to get back to that at the end of the video, and I will go into, so if you want to stick around to the end, I will go into every single Community Day Pokemon. We've had 36 Community Days, and tell you, is it good for raids or is it good for PvP based on what I know. Probably the easiest thing to delete now, and what I normally do first when I'm processing through my bag without filming, is I will go through and just delete the crap that I have accumulated over the last catching spree. So I haven't really done a deep clean since I went to a medical trip in Idaho. So I'm going to go through and delete anything out of there with just mass transfer. But let's start with, because I know I've done trades recently, I'm going to start with traded. Now, the important thing about traded Pokemon is you cannot retrade a Pokemon that has already been traded to you. So you can't say, oh crap, that Pokemon has bad stats, let me give it back to somebody else. Once it's yours from a trade, it's yours. You are the final owner, so you can do whatever the heck you want with it. If you know you're never going to power up those Riolu because they're bad stats, get rid of them. Done. These Muna, I just did a trade session. So we're going to tag through. They're all bad for PvP. For PvP, by the way, if you're going Great League or Ultra League and the Pokemon maxes out above that league category, you don't want 100% stats, 15, 15, 15. You want low attack, high defense, and stamina because the Pokemon can be powered up more times that way without going over the league cap. In the description below, I will link to pvpoke.com, or you can navigate there yourself to show you for a certain Pokemon what stats you're looking for and the level. Level isn't shown, but it's how many times you can power it up. Muna, they're bad for these stats. So I'm just going to go through and see, out of everything that's traded, what can I dump? Gabite I use as gym defenders so I can feed them berries and hopefully get a Gibble candy. I've been doing some Stunfisk trades recently. All these Larvitar, I'm never going to use them, especially if they're not lucky, or hundos, so I can delete those. Then we get into the traded shinies. Stuff like this is going to be hard to part with, especially when Billy maxed it in my 17.8 million Stardust spending video. He took me down to 42 dust. Link up there for that. You probably have already seen it, as that's why a lot of you are here. Go through your traded Pokemon, delete what you don't care about. If you're not going to power it up, and if it doesn't hold a sentimental value to you, it's probably time to get rid of it, especially if you have duplicates of it that are better. For example, I really only need one good dino, because it's not really that relevant for raids. It's okay for PvP as Zweilous, so I might keep a PvP statted one. But if I have a hundo dino and then like a 96 or something, I could technically delete the 96 and below because I have the hundo. That's what I'm going to max out. That's what I'm going to use. I don't actually have the hundo, but in the case that I do, there's your exhibit. However, Pokemon like Gibble or Mewtwo or Tyranitar, you can have a whole battle squad of those for raids because they are the top attackers for their type or close to it. I would recommend looking up a list online for the top attackers in every Pokemon type. I believe there's 19 Pokemon types like Grass, Fairy, Water, Electric, stuff like that, Fire. You can find, oh, Tyranitar is a great Dark attacker and Rock attacker. It's better than Golem. I have a bunch of Tyranitar. Maybe it's time to delete some Golem because I'm only going to use one, maybe two battle parties of Rock attackers. Might as well have the best of the best. And if you're going to slowly power up, say you have a really high IV Pokemon, you're like, okay, this Larvitar is like level 2. But it's got 100% stats, and I know I'm going to power it up eventually. I'd say keep that, max it out, use your Golem in the meantime in place of it, and then once you get that Tyranitar maxed out, Golem gets to take a trip to the family farm where they sent your dog last year. Don't worry, he's having fun. All the fire hydrants in the world. Hate to break it to you, but he's dead. Some Pokemon are pretty rare and hard to find the candies for. So if I look at my tags, I have a section here where I've tagged Pokemon that I'm going to transfer. Everything here has been traded if I'm going to trade it. These are ones I got from other people. Like I'm currently trying to get a level 50, 100% Stunfisk for Ultra League, so any extra candy I can get are helpful. Same with Gibble or some legendaries that have already been traded to me that I'm not going to use. So the original purpose of these was to save them for a double transfer candy event, so I can get an extra Larvitar candy every time I transfer a Larvitar, which may not seem like much, but that's 50 extra candy I'm looking at right now if I were to do all this during that time. However, we're in purge mode right now. These are all marked already for transfer. I don't have to worry about them. We are going to delete almost everything here. Take a screenshot for the thumbnail. Transfer, 42, gone. That's 42 more spaces. I'm going to save the legendaries for double transfer candy because I think I can get my storage enough to play Kanto Tour and keep them. So let's go through and take a look at my recent catches. You can search age ranges. So if you search age 0, it will show you everything that you've caught today within the last 24 hours. You can say like 0 to 7. So the last week, I've caught 237 Pokemon in the last week that I haven't already deleted. I'm going to go through this, select everything that I don't want to keep. I've already checked the PvP stats on these. So like that Cottony, pretty good PvP stats. I'm going to keep it. Umbreon doesn't have a legacy move, so we're going to delete it. I'm a Pidgey fanatic. I collect Pidgey candy. Billy also spent 29,000 of my Pidgey candy to max a Mega Pidgeot to level 50, a shiny 98. Right now, it's about clearing space. Not many people are going to want to give me distance candy for Pidgeys, so they're going bye-bye. Snorlax, we will check the Snorlax stats later. Just going through this way. And if you limit your searches enough, so you don't accidentally select the wrong thing. So if you say like Miltank, oh yeah, I caught a bunch of Miltank during Spotlight Hour, or Seal Spotlight Hour was a while ago. You can search Seal, visually appraise everything with your eyes or some other part of your body that gives you information when you look at stuff, and then hit the select all button at the top right. That will select everything that is in that search field. So be very careful with that. But if you limit your search enough, you can save time by using that. Stuff like Drillbur, Swinub, these are really meta-relevant Pokemon in their final evolutions. So if you know somebody that could use those Pokemon on their account to boost their raid party, like I evolve a bunch of extra Community Day Tyrannitars in the 3000 CP range a year and a half, 2 years ago when we had Larvitar Community Day. I've traded or considered trading those to trainers who need that extra boost in their damage, because even if they're not good IVs, which they almost certainly won't be when you trade them to somebody, because IVs do change in trades, it's still a massively high-level Pokemon that can help them battle raids until they get their parties up. At which point, they'll watch this video and say, hey, I've got 600 Tyrannitars now. I don't need the one that Jameson traded to me that's a 42% with high CP. Bye-bye. We're going through, we're selecting everything here that I'm okay getting rid of, that doesn't need a new home. Like Froakie, they're pretty rare, but I've accumulated like 20 of them. I did some trades earlier today to get rid of the ones that I wanted to. I will keep a few Muna of mid-level to trade to people, because who knows how rare they'll be after this Valentine's Day event. Alolan Sandshrew, you want that in the Little League, which is like 500 CP or below, so no reason to keep that because he can't roll that low. Krabby is a good water attacker, but time to get rid of these, so even if I were going to trade them to somebody, it's too late now. I need room. And remember, if you transfer it yourself, you have a chance of getting an XL candy, a higher chance if the Pokemon is a higher CP, so just keep note of that. Vulpix could be good, but bye-bye. There we go. Everything that I've caught in the last 7 days, 200 Pokemon, bye-bye. So you can do that. I've also got these 4 Tyranitar. Did some trades with Matt today from our community. I have a bunch already. These aren't good stats. They aren't even legacy. Bye-bye. If you happen to know that you have a butt ton, and that's an actual measurement, look it up. It's not. If you know you have a butt ton of Pokemon of the same species, like, oh, I have 50 million Pikachu, search that Pokemon name, scroll through, find out why are you keeping this many. Like, I know Snorlax has a legacy move, so I can search and at special to show me the ones that are legacy, or I can search and at not special, or and not at special to show me the ones that aren't legacy. These are just run-of-the-mill Snorlax. They used to be really rare, but not so much, especially with the shiny one coming out soon. So I'll go through here, do some IV checks for low attack, high defense, and HP. There's the Hundo. We're going to delete a bunch of these Snorlax. They aren't legacy. They serve no purpose. That's not a sentence. 14 Snorlax, bye-bye, 4 XL candy. So far, in just a few minutes, I've already deleted 274 Pokemon. And you can too. Just 5 easy payments of Pokemon Go takes money from the Ryu for the rest of your life. The next thing to look up for, on the vein of traded Pokemon, lucky Pokemon tend to clog our inventories because we've done trades. We're like, oh cool, it's lucky, I'll check that later. And then you have 328 lucky Pokemon. Sometimes they're hundos like that Geodude, which I've named I'm going to keep. But sometimes they're like this Larvitar. I've marked it as transfer. We're just going to do that right now. The stats aren't good enough to power up. Muna. Now, for a while, I would appraise my Pokemon, and I would keep the best stat version that I have, just for collection purposes. I stopped doing that over a year ago because I've realized it'd be cool to have a 98 Muna, but it's not useful in raids or PvP to my knowledge. So why? I have it unlocked for the Lucky Decks. I have it in the Pokedex. I have enough to trade for them. Maybe I'll eventually get the shiny in a lucky trade. If I have a Hundo or a Zero, also known as a Nundo, I'm going to keep it because pretty rare. But like a 98, why? Like this is a 93 and then the other one's like 13s across. Before I do that, I will evolve Muna into Musharna for Pokedex and to get rid of a Unova Stone that I have a bunch of. So yay, Pokedex entry for this video. But then it's going to the grinder. Sleeping Musharna. It's easier to be grinded up when you're asleep. What? Registered to Pokedex. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good playing. Hey, an XL candy. So, search Lucky. Find any Pokemon in here that you don't need. You're never going to power up. They have no sentimental value, or you have a butt ton of them. Maybe it's time to get rid of those. You can also search by number, so you can see, like, why do I have 8 million of this certain Pokemon? A bunch of Machamp. Okay. This Machamp apparently is Legacy, but I don't think it is. This Machamp, Lucky. Not that good stats. No reason to keep it. Bye. Go through your Pokemon like this. look up meta rate attackers, best PvP stats on PvPoke. Let's go into Lucky and Stun Fisk. I've been trying to do lucky trades and just basic lucky rerolls for good Stun Fisk for Ultra League, and I won a hundo for that. None of these really come close except for the 15-13-15 and the 15-15-13. We're going to delete everything else because if I want it for Great League, then I want lower attack, so I don't want it to be lucky, basically. Getting rid of all these, making extra storage space, getting extra candy. That one I'm keeping, that one I'm keeping, this one I'm deleting. So thank you to everybody who's traded me Stunfisk. At a certain point, you've got to say goodbye to these Pokemon. Next up, I would recommend looking up your Shadow and your Purified Pokemon. Start with Purified because a lot of times we'll purify our Pokemon and go, oh, I did that for a badge. And then it's just sitting there never to be used again. Zubat and Golbat, I have them. A lot of my Purifieds are already cleaned out. They're hundos or they're good Pokemon. I could probably get rid of some of those Venusaur. Like, Venusaur is a good grass attacker, but we have Megas now. And I think Roserade is better, so I could consider deleting the Hundo Venusaur, even though I'm going to want good grass attackers and raids. You have 6 slots for raids, 12 if you're really crazy and you want to make 2 battle parties so you don't have to max revive. So just keep that in mind. Like if you have 15 maxed out Tyranitar, drop it down to 6 or 12, or trade them away. Next are Shadow Pokemon. I've done a lot of Shadow stops recently because we had a Team Rocket takeover event, and there's another one coming up at the end of Kanto Tour. And before this video, I made sure to hit level 44 because I've been saving Pokemon to purify for this task. I need to purify 100 Shadow Pokemon for level 44 to 45. If you find a bunch of Shadow Pokemon, as you're catching them, take a look at their purification cost. It'll either be 1,000, 3,000, or 5,000 for the basic Pokemon. Legendaries are 20,000, but do not purify your legendary shadows. They are much stronger as shadows. Shadow Pokemon deal 20% more damage, but they also take 20% more. They're very useful in raids, but for run-of-the-mill shadows like Nosepass or Zubat, stuff that doesn't matter in raids, it is simply going to take up space or you're holding it for a certain reason, like, oh, it's a hundo or it's a shiny shadow. Never delete those. Like all these Zubat, they are one of the few Pokemon that we can purify for 1,000 dust. We also have Weedle, Magikarp. However, Magikarp as Gyarados is one of the best water attackers in the shadow form. A 0% shadow Pokemon does more damage than a 100% non-shadow Pokemon, so just consider that. Save your 1,000 purification shadow Pokemon. I've created a tag for them. I can now start purifying these, progress towards level 45, or any task that would require me to purify Pokemon. And then once they're done, I have no use to keep them, and they're gone. You can slowly start saving the 1,000 purification Pokemon, even if you're like level 20 or something low, because it does take a while to get them, and you're going to be saving a lot of Stardust in the end by doing this. Going to delete these 3 because they are purified. I have used them as I want to use them, and they are gone. No longer hogging storage space. A lot of times what will happen is we'll see a Pokemon that we want for PvP. We'll appraise it, and we'll go, oh, that might be good stats. A few months will pass, we'll get another one. Oh, that might be good stats. And then you end up having a lot of Pokemon that you need to PvP to IV check to figure out which 1 or 2 or 3 are you going to keep for the different leagues. Let's see if I can have an example here. To my understanding, Cottony is really only good in the Great League. So I will want low attack, high defense, and HP. I'm going to open up PvPoke right now, and we will compare these 2 different ones. Since I only want it for Great League, and I probably won't even use it, because I have my teams that I like, we're going to delete the one that serves no purpose right now. I've created a desktop shortcut for this, so I can go right to the site I need. You're going to find the PvP rank checker. I'm going to search Whimsicott, because that is the Pokemon I would use in this case. Type in the IVs with the scroll bars here, 3, 15, 15. Then we're going down. If you know it maxes out, some Pokemon you want at a higher level than 40, so change that bar if that's the case. View stats, 315, 15 is rank 318. I already have a rank 208 that we saw earlier as my game crashes. So we're going to delete this new 315-15 because I have a better one for PvP, rank 208. Let's search my Pidgeys. I have some I can get rid of. They're gone. Pidgeot does have a legacy move if you evolved it properly. It's a fast move of Gust. We'll get rid of the Pidove. Also note that when you're trading, the distance between the Pokemon that were captured does affect how many candy you get, and it goes towards your pilot badge. So if you travel, the Pokemon that you've caught here will be that new distance, so just take note of that. Distance 100 dash. And not traded, because the point of this is to see what Pokemon could be traded. This is everything that will give 3 candy to anybody else who trades me something from Bend. So some people will be asking for distance candy, like, oh, they have a Gibble. They don't really care what you give them in return because they're getting 3 candy for their Pokemon. I'm going to go through here and delete everything that is not that important, but I'm going to keep the ones that are somewhat rare so I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, or feed 2 Pidgeys with 1 Poffin. That way, if I do need to do some distance trades, at least it'll be a relevant Pokemon that's going away. And we have a lot of distance trades from our trip. Roselia, Community Day. The Rose Raid have Community Day moves, so I'm going to keep those. Really no reason to keep the Badoo. Murkrow is not that great. Go through. Sneasel is a pretty good Ice and Dark attacker, but everybody had a research day, and I'm not going to find anybody to trade these with in the meantime. Chinchou is great as Lantern and PvP. We'll just go through and delete anything that I don't think is worth holding on to for another owner. Now, if you live with someone who plays Pokemon Go, I would recommend trading these away if they ask for them to help them out. But with the event right around the corner, it's time to clean space. You see I have a bunch of legendaries. We're going to address that soon. Delete 107 Pokemon. Thanks for being in my bag. Pidgey! Oh my god, it's a Pidgey! Imagine if that was shiny. I will claim this extra candy, and then he's going straight to the grinder. Thank you for playing, Pidgey. You didn't even get caught, you little bird. I normally don't catch one, check the stats, and delete it, but we're just going to do that now. So go through, check your PvP IVs, appraise them to find which one you need to keep if you have a bunch of them. Go through your recent catches, delete anything that you know other people won't want, and if they do want it, you can use a tag to name it for trade, or distance trade, or something like that. Here's a Munna I'm not going to use. Darumaka is a great fire attacker as Darmanitan. 14, 15, 14. It's good stats. I'm honestly never going to power it up. It's too low of a level. If it was really high level, I might evolve it and just keep it as that. We have a good Magikarp. I'm not really on the hunt for Gyarados for PvP right now. Bye-bye. Tauros, Magmar, Grovyle. Delete those. Frillish are from GBL only right now, so we're keeping all of those. Tauros and Miltank, goodbye. So after you go through these rules in your mind, just scroll through your Pokemon and start deleting extra things that you might have missed the first time. A lot of times what will happen is I'll think I've deleted all I could, and then I scroll down a little bit more and I realize, oh, that's right. The reason I have all those legendaries is I did a bunch of remote raids, but on the other side of those, there's a bunch of Pokemon I can delete. So that's what I'm seeing right now. I've already deleted a few hundred, but man, there's more. There's almost always more to delete. Another Pokemon that I use in Great League right now is Shiftry. So I'm going to look up CDOT and see if I have any good ones for PvP. There's this one. I will check that stat, compare it to the one I use right now, and delete the one appropriately. Shiftry into Nuzleaf, so we'll take a look at these stats. Shiftry is good in Ultra League, kind of, but definitely in Great League. So just keep that in mind. Now, the biggest and the hardest decision to make is what legendaries and what shiny Pokemon are you going to delete, and which ones are worth keeping in your bags. I have 2 Munnas that I'm going to delete right now along with a Riolu, but I have a bunch of Giratina and a decent number of Kyogre and Groudon. If you're not keeping the legendary to power up and use in raids because it's bad stats, and you know you don't have enough friends nearby to trade them one a day, I do like doing one special trade a day, but there's so many other Pokemon that I want to re-roll. So yeah, it'd be great to have like a lucky Heatran or something, but until I have a bunch of good Giratina, I'm not going to ask for Heatran, and then Mewtwo, and then Kyogre and Groudon. Go through your legendaries. So I'm going to search legendary and not traded. And you can also do this for the traded ones and decide, I'm never going to use that, delete it. Personally, I keep all of my shiny legendary Pokemon, even if they are bad IVs and lucky, because at some point I'm hoping that we'll get the chance to re-roll IVs. Once you've searched legendary and not traded, I would recommend sorting them by Pokedex number on the side there and see, holy crap, I have a bunch of Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. Is anybody going to need these from me? Now, do note that these Pokemon could have legacy moves, so you can search and at special if you care, or just tap in to see. Frost Breath, Icy Wind, Articuno. Not going to use it. No reason. Delete it. For legendaries, I would recommend saving them to delete until we have a double transfer candy event, so you're not going to see me mass deleting a bunch of legendaries here for that reason. Keep enough to trade people daily if you have somebody to trade daily, and delete the ones that you know you don't have time to trade away given the limitation of one special a day. I did a decent amount of Raikou raids, good amount of Lugia and Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh's legacy move is Earthquake, not available in raids. The Reggie's Steel is usually the only one that's really relevant for meta. I do occasionally see Regice and Regirock though. Latios and Latias, they have Megas. They also have Shinies. I would rather keep or trade a Shiny than the regular one. Kyogre. I will delete some Kyogre and Groudon. Also, if you search and distance 100, so if you know you're going to delete some legendaries, I would recommend focusing on deleting the ones that aren't distance legendaries, because it's much more likely that people will have local legendaries than distance ones. So if you can give a distance for local, you're both going to get 3 extra candy. It's worth doing that daily. So I'm going to change this search to and not distance to show me everything that was less than 100 kilometers away. Legendary Pokemon that were not traded to me that are not 100 kilometers away. These are the ones I'm going to focus on deleting. Just pay attention to keep your shinies and be careful about deleting legacy Pokemon. You can use the @ special search to find that. Next up are your shinies. People love their shinies. There have been a lot of shinies released in Pokemon Go, so a lot of us have collected them over the years, and we love them. They're really rare, they're hard to find, unless you're Bronzor, because that's a high boosted rate. We have a lot of sentimental attachment to our shinies. I have over 1,000 shiny Pokemon in my bag right now. A lot of them are Community Day Pokemon. My throat is getting really sore from talking for however long this is. If you're going to have a Community Day Pokemon to trade away, people will usually want it with the special move. So when Community Day is here, we can evolve for the special move. I will evolve a bunch of extra Pokemon to trade. I don't think I've ever been asked for a lot of these shiny Community Day Pokemon, which is why you saw me deleting the shiny for Alligator earlier. If I search shiny and Machop, I'm not going to show the evolutionary line because if they're evolved, I want to keep them that way. I have 41 shiny Machop. I would love to get a Shundo Machamp, so there's been times where I want to trade people for a Machop without being lucky friends and just hope that the shiny Machop goes lucky and has good stats. But like, some people collect level 1, so I'm not going to keep that one. I don't need 41 of these, and I'm not going to wait to double transfer candy event because Machop candy is pretty easy to get. We're deleting shiny Machop right now, and this Pokemon is one of my favorites, so it does hurt a little bit more. I will forget that I did this, and if that's the case, it's probably okay to delete the Pokemon. If you know you're going to just regret this decision for the next 2 weeks, keep it. But if you're like, what was that thing I did that I was so worried about? Probably not worth caring. It's okay to get rid of it a lot of the time. Obviously, you're the final decision maker. It's up to you. Machop is best as Machamp as a raid attacker, so keep your high level ones. Delete the low ones, stuff like that. So we've gone through, we've deleted 8 shiny Machop. I'm gonna do probably 10 or 15 more. I'll keep maybe 10 for trades. So your shiny Community Pokemon are prime targets for transfers. You can only trade 1 special a day. Why would you keep more? Why would you keep vastly more than the game allows you to trade away? Same with Roserade. I evolved all of my shiny Roselia into Roserade, and we're going to get rid of one of them right now. Roserade is one of the best grass attackers. It's decent in PvP, so I'll keep a few of them. Again, I keep all my shiny legendaries just in case. And if I search and traded with this selection of shinies, I'm the final owner of these 160 Pokemon. I can make the decision. I'm never going to use that Pokemon. It's time to go. So let's search and Charizard. These have all been traded to me. I need 1 for Mega, which would be a high level and high IV. I might need some for PvP, but there are better fire attackers if you aren't Mega Charizard. So there's a good chance that I'm going to delete some of these. This one has double moves. I don't know why. Charizard X, this is the one that I was Mega evolving. make sure you pay attention to your mega costs. This one costs 40, this one costs 200. I've already mega evolved this one, that's why I have it. This guy is low level. His IVs are the opposite of what I would want for PvP. Bye-bye Charizard. Charizard is probably my favorite Pokemon next to maybe Lugia and Pikachu. So that kind of hurts, but storage space, man. It's key. Oh my god, I'm gonna regret that for the next 2 weeks. No. Let's go through the list again and remind you what we've been over so far. You can search for your hundos, mark them. You can search for Pokemon that have legacy moves with @special and !shadow and !purified to cancel out the purified and shadow legacy moves. Consider deleting your community day shinies if you have an excessive amount of those, like most of us do. Search for your traded and lucky Pokemon because you're the final owner, so you can make that call. Tag your shadow Pokemon that are 1k purification, delete the rest that are not meta relevant. Meta being like, this is the good thing for PvP or raids. So like, I have a bunch of Shadow Swinub. I've deleted all the bad IV ones, but there are a few that are decent IV. Shadow Swinub is the best ice type attacker as Shadow Mamoswine right now. Even like a 13 attack stat with the lower stats on the defense and HP, I'm okay maxing out because it's that good. But I just had a bunch of Shadow Swinub coming into my possession with that Team Rocket event, so I deleted some of the other ones. Because I'm only going to power up a few, I might as well power up the better stat ones. Delete your extra legendaries during double transfer candy events. Mark them as transfer or trade beforehand so when the event comes around, which is usually once a month during a certain spotlight hour, you can check the in-game news tab for that spotlight information. We actually didn't get a double transfer candy event this month, which sucks. Tag those, double transfer candy them during those events. Keep your distance ones for trade, and also keep your weather boosted ones for trade. Additionally, there are some Pokemon that are better for PvP, so if your intention is to trade it to somebody for Great League or something, but it's never going to drop below the 1500, they probably wouldn't want it, because if it's for Great League only and can't get into Great League, consider that. Keep at max 1 or 2 raid squads for each Pokemon type, so Rock, okay, I have like a 6 Tyranitar raid squad, and then some other Pokemon that are good rock attackers like Rhyperior. Beyond that, I probably don't need a 7th Tyranitar or a 13th Tyranitar. Trade any of these Pokemon away that you don't need yourself that somebody else could use to help boost their account. Oh yeah, one more thing that clogs people's storage. Costume Pokemon. You can search costume, or you can go down to this tag here, hit show more, and event. I have 206 event Pokemon. I've already mulled through this. My personal rule is I will keep 3 of each event Pokemon and all the shinies. So I have like 3 Ash Hat Pikachu that could be traded away is what I mean. That way, if anybody ever asks me for one, I do have some. I could probably delete down to 2 or 1 because it's very rare that I get asked for that. And if I am, it's usually the shiny one. Finally, once you're done with all these steps, go through your Pokemon inventory by Pokedex number and see your groupings. It helps to see all the Bulbasaur in one spot, all the Chikorita in one spot, and you can realize, why do I have 10 of these? I only need like 1 for Ultra, 1 for Master, and then 1 for raids, or however many for raids you would need. So in summary, if you're not going to power it up, you can't trade it fast enough because of the limitations of the game. It doesn't hold a lot of sentimental value. Those are the Pokemon that you will consider transferring if you wish. Thank you guys for watching this Kanto Tour prep video. This video will be useful no matter what event we're in if you're trying to clean your Pokemon storage. Let me know in the comments below what sentimental Pokemon you were able to let go of, or which ones have a very deep meaning to you and you've decided to hold on to. Tell me your storage space before and after. Thanks for watching this long. Good luck in the Kanto Tour. Jameson, Rubik's Sky out. Now I need a cough drop.